Ayubowan. Welcome to the iTree Educational channel. Today we are going to discuss about the part 5 of the number system, the fractional parts, the very important parts of the numbers. This lesson may be not very important for the GCE O-level student, but very much important for A-level students as well as for the students who may follow diploma in computer courses and degree courses. Okay, we'll start today's lesson. First of all, we look at what we have been discussed in the last lessons. So we have discussed how to convert a decimal number into other bases. The simple method is divide the number by the base continuously until you get 0. While you are dividing, you write the reminders. At the end, you write all the reminders from end to start. Then we have discussed how could we convert any base number to the decimal. Simple method is multiply the number by the positional value, then add all those answers together. So those have been discussed in our previous videos in very detail. If you are not familiar with these conversions, you could watch those videos. Then we have discussed how can we convert a binary number into octal. Then we discussed how to convert octal number into binary. Then we have been discussed how can we convert a binary number into hexa as well as hexa to binary. All those lessons have been published in my YouTube channel. You could watch all these things if you are not familiar with these things. So those videos will help you to understand all these basic concepts. You need these basic concepts to continue with this lesson. Okay, today we are going to discuss with the fractional part. How can we work with fractional part of a number? First of all, we look at what are the number types we can see. There are two types of numbers. First one is called as integers, sometimes called as whole numbers. Then the real numbers, fractional numbers, or the floating point numbers. What are the integers? Integers means whole numbers that can be positive, negative, or 0, but there is no decimal places of fractional part. Integers are the whole numbers which doesn't carry a decimal part or a fraction. Real numbers. Real numbers are the numbers, it can be positive, negative, or 0, and can have decimal places or fractional parts. Real numbers will have decimal places as well as fractional parts. Then we see how a number is built. Look at this number now. Look at this one. You can easily see that there are two parts. 68, that's the whole part. 10010, that's a whole part. The other part are called as the fractional part. So number will have two parts. One is the fractional part, other one is the whole part. Okay, now we will see how this number is made. You can look at now. Already you know how the whole part, the integer part is. Normally we start with the decimal point. We go to the left side. We are making power of 1, power of 2, power of 3, something like that. But if you look at the decimal point right side, you may call this the negative powers. So here 8 will be in the 2 to the power 0th point, 6 is in the 10 to the power first point, but 0.5 is in the 10 to the power negative 1, minus 1. That is very, very important. Okay. So if you look at from the decimal point onward, left side, the whole part, you increase. Right side, the fractional part, you decrease. So it is always with the negative values. Okay. Now you can see now 10 to the power 0, it is 1. 10 to the power 1, it is 10. 10 to the power minus 1, that is 1 divided by 10. You should remember that it is 1 divided by 10. Then your values are, you can see now 10, 1, 0.1. It's 0.1. Very, very important. Then you multiply these values, you see that. This is the answer you are getting. Look at this number now. You know the method. So now decimal point, one is the left side, one is the right side. Left side 0 power, first power, second power. Right side negative 1, negative 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. You can see now minus 1 is 1 divided by 100, 10 to the power minus 2, 1 divided by 100, minus 3, 1 divided by 1000. You will see that on numbers now. You can multiply, you get the answers, then you can add these things together. Look at this one now. It's a binary number. Same concept applied. Decimal point, left side, positive power, right side, negative power. So 2 to the power minus 1, that is 1 divided by 2. 2 to the power minus 2, that is 1 divided by 4. 2 to the power minus 1, 1 divided by 2. 2 to the power minus 2, 1 divided by 4. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. You multiply these together. You can add these things together now. Okay, now we are going to convert a decimal fraction to other base fractions. What's the method you use? Okay, you know how to convert the whole part. Whole part is normally you divide, but here you do the multiplication. When you're converting a whole part, you multiply by the required base. There's a simple technique we use it. Multiply the fractional part by the required base. Then while you are multiplying, you disregard the whole part of the answer. You forget about the whole part of the answer. Then you multiply that values until you get 0 or to the required precision. Then what you do? Finally, you write the whole part from start to end as it is. You multiply by the required base. Forget about the whole part you are getting. Continue this process. Then you write the whole part from start to end. We'll get few examples and see how this could be performed. So first we are discussing about how to convert the decimal fraction to the binary fraction. Look at this number now. We are going to convert. But here is a basic concepts. What that basic concepts is, you are converting this number as two sets. Whole part will be converting separately. Fractional part will be converted separately. You made two calculations. Whole part separately, fractional part separately as two sets. Okay, you know how to convert the whole part. You practice that one. If you are not familiar with that one, our other videos will explain the conversion of the whole part. You can watch those videos. You divide by the base, write the remainders from end to start. Now we convert the fractional part. What you do is, you multiply. You can multiply. It's 0.5. You multiply by 2, you get 1.0. That's all you can do. So 0.5 will be 0.1. When you convert 0.5 from decimal to binary, it is 0.1. Your answer will be, okay, whole part and the fractional part. We'll try to convert this one. You know how to convert 103, 103. You can convert that. When we are dividing 0.625. You know the method. Multiply by 2. You get this. You disregard the 1 at the moment. Continue. 0 also should write, because whatever whole part you get, even 0 you must write. That is very, very important. Whatever value you are getting, you must write the whole part value. So now here you can see you are getting 0. It must be written there. Then we can multiply. That's all you can do. You write the answer now from start to end. Your answer will be, now you can see 103.625. When you convert, you get this answer. Okay, try to convert this one. 0, that doesn't want to convert. 0.173. Here you can see I have stopped with the 8 places. that may be sufficient at the moment. When you are doing some kind of calculation, you need some accuracy level, some precision. So you think about precision level. Normally for the binary numbers, it may be 4 digits or the 8 digits. Generally 8 digits. So you can stop whenever you reach to 8 digits. But if you need more accuracy, you can further increase this number of places. But here I stop with 8 places. That may be sufficient at the moment. But the question will say how much patience you need. Then you increase the number of places what you do the calculation. Maybe it's 4 places or maybe 8 places or maybe more than that. So I stop here with the 8 places. That may be sufficient at the moment. So when you convert this number now, you can see the answer. Now we are going to convert decimal fraction to octal fraction. You know the method. You multiply by 8. We are doing that one now. You get the answer. It's 0.4. We'll do one more. Multiply by 8. You can see now. So I have stopped with the 4 places. That may be sufficient at the moment. So you can see now. We'll see this one now. You can see that I have done until 8 places. You can further do that. If you want, we can further continue. But I hope that that may be sufficient. Okay. Now we are going to convert decimal fraction to hexadecimal fraction. You know the method. You multiply by 16. Okay. You multiply. It's 8.8. That is sufficient. Right now, we are going to convert 0.174 from decimal to hexadecimal. You multiply. Here you must notice a very important point, that is 12. How to write 12? You can't write 12 in hexadecimal. What is 12 is? You should write C. You can see there is one 11. 11 is B. You must write those things because in hexadecimal there is no value called 12. It should be written as C. A is 10, F is 15. Okay, now we are going to convert from other base to decimal. Other base to decimal. How do you do that? That is the same way you did in the whole part. You normally multiply. You do the usual method as we discussed in the previous videos. You simply multiply by the base. So normally now we are going to convert a binary fraction to the decimal fraction. You can see that. So theory is from decimal point, left side increase the power, right side decrease the power. Left side positive values, right side negative values. We can see that. You will get that. You get the real values there. You multiply now. You get the values. You can add up. You total it. You get something like this. Next one. Okay, you know the technique. You start with 2 to the power minus 1, 2 to the power minus 2. It goes 2 to the power minus 1 is 1 divided by 2, 1 divided by 4, 1 divided by 8. It goes. You can get the real values there. You can multiply that. 1 multiplied by 0.5, 0 multiplied by 0.25. You get these things. If you can't add this one horizontally, you can write this value vertically and add up. As you are familiar with the vertical adding, you can do that. So that method is discussed in our previous lessons. You can watch that one. There are different methods to do that. You can try to add these numbers now. If you find difficulties to add horizontally, you can note it down this one vertically and add up. You can see the answer. Okay, now we're going to convert octal fraction to the decimal fractions. You get the value. Okay, you multiply by 8 to the power minus 1, 8 to the power minus 2, 8 to the power minus 3. You get the value 1 divided by 8, 1 divided by 64, 1 divided by 512. You get these values. You don't remember these values. You just made the calculation at the time, then you continue. Don't even remember these values, but you should remember the method. Not the values, but the methods. You get the first point is 8 to the power minus 1, that is 1 divided by 8. 8 to the power minus 2, that is 1 divided by 64. Then we add up these things together. You will see this answer. So you can do this one, you can do practice this one. Okay. Do not want to remember the values, but the method. Okay. We write the position of values. Then you get that, multiply, you get these values, you can add up. When you total it, you get that value. Okay, now we are going to convert hexadecimal fraction to decimal. You know the method? You multiply by power of 16. 6 to the power minus 1, 6 to the power minus 2. That is 1 divided by 16, 1 divided by 256. You get these values. You multiply them. You get these answers. You add these things together. Okay, we go one more example. Point BC. What is B? B is 11. C 12. You add the values there. You multiply these two together. 11 multiplied by 0.0625. You get these values. You add up together. You can see that. Okay. Now we are going to convert non-decimal fractional part to the non-decimal fractional parts. We'll take one more. How do you do that? So now, if you are making from binary fraction to octal fraction, as you did in whole part, you make the 3 digits group. You make the 3 digits group, but remember you are start decimal point and going to the right side. You start the decimal point, you are going to the right side. The whole part, we start with the decimal point, we start the end, we went to the left side. Here we are start decimal point and go to the right side. We always make the 3 digit group. You must make 3 digit group. Then you write the decimal equivalent of these groups. Okay, you get one example and we can discuss that. When you're talking about the fractional binary to the hexafractional, what you do is you divide into 4 digits group. Again, you are starting the decimal point, going forward, go to the right side, always make 4 digits group. Okay, then you write the hexadecimal equivalent of that value. We'll make one example. We're going to convert this one from binary to octal. You can see that we set into 3 digits group. We write the value of these groups. Something like this. You know the method? It's 4 to 1. We have discussed this thing in our previous videos. You can watch those things if you are not familiar with this one. Now we convert this one. You can look at that. So last part, last group, 1 0 is, you must add that 0 because it must be with the 3 digits. Always must be 3 digits. So the last 0 is added by us. You must add that one to make a 3 digits group. Okay, now we write the values there. We get binary fraction to hexadecimal fractions. The rule is 4 digit group. 4 digit group. You can see that. You make that. Okay. So now 1001, it's, yeah, 0.9. Look at this one now. We make 3 digits group. You can see that last group, the digits are less. You added that 0 to make it 4 digits. You are adding to the n. That is very, very important. We are adding to the n. Okay, now we are making, it's 1010, it's 10. You know that you can't write 10 in hexadecimal. You write it's a 1110, it's 14. 14 is e. You can't write 14. You should write as e. So answer will be a e. We are going to convert from octal fraction to the binary fractions. You know the method. What is it? You write the value with 3 digits. 3 digits. Then you convert hexa fraction to binary. We write with 4 digits. We write it with 3 digits for octal, 4 digits for hexa. We are converting now this octal fraction to the binary fraction. So we write with 3 digits, something like this. Look at this one now. Always you write with 3 digits. See now, 5, 2, 6. You can see that last, that 0 is important. That has no value, but you must write that. We are discussing hexa fraction to binary. The technique is write with 4 digits. 9 is 1001, 5 is 4 digits. It's 0101. Now you look at this one now. A is 10, E is 14. Okay. Remember that the last digit should be written there. Okay, what we have discussed today, how to convert the fractional part of a number from one base to another base. The simple technique is you start with the decimal point and you go to the right part. Normally you multiply that value. Normally you multiply by the required base. While you are multiplying, the whole part will be forget about that one. Then you continue. Then at the end you write the whole part from start to end as it is. That's the way normally you do conversion of fractional part. Okay, I'm giving some assignment to you to complete. All of you can complete the assignment and submit to my email address. Students of my class must do these things and submit their complete answer to my email address with your name, grade, and the class you are attending. The name of the class should be written there where you are attending in my class. So all of my students who are with me should follow and send the answers to me. Any other student can do this assignment and submit to me. Then I will be correcting these things and give you the feedback, whatever things you have done. And even you can connect to my Google Classroom. So if you want to connect to my Google Classroom, you can send me an email with your name, school, and the grade. Then I will be sending you the code required to connect to your Google Classroom. So this will end up the part 5 of our lesson. I hope you got enough knowledge to do the conversion of the fractional part of the numbers. So kindly I request you to subscribe to this channel. Kindly subscribe to this channel, then you can get lot of things. Additionally, you can share this one with your friends and also make a like on that. This will help me to improve my website. If you wish to connect to my Google Classroom, you can contact me on the following email address. Send me your name, school, and the grade. Then I will be sending you the code required to go into my class. So this Google class will have more notes, small tips, and some assignment. Some quizzes are there. So thank you very much. Kindly subscribe to my channel, make a like and share among your friends. Have a good day.